You sold 80% of the tickets. You wouldn't say to that performer, listen, you're hitting me up for an astronomical amount of money here to come perform. I can't sell my tickets now because you're turning away part of my audience. That is what is happening here. They are having their business hurt because a lot of the fans who turn to the NFL to escape from their daily problems and don't want their daily problems thrown in front of them. They want to just enjoy the football. They don't want it to be something they have to work hard at or think hard at. They want to escape for a couple hours and enjoy their football. And they're being confronted with social issues instead. That's the point. And the owner says, wait a second, you're hurting my business. But this has gotten away from them now, and they don't know how to deal with it. They don't know, they did not deal with it correctly in the beginning, so now they don't know how to fix it. So now here's what we're going to do. We're going to have you, if you now want to protest, you will protest where the public can't see you, which makes no sense. Chris in Mattawan, what's up, Chris?
Hey, Mike. I mean, I'm well beyond personally the merits of whether it's right or wrong. I just flat out stopped watching. But I think, as I look back at everything and the multimillionaires doing what they do, they're making it seem like it's a David versus Goliath situation against the big NFL. But here's what I would say. Since they haven't really gone anywhere with the message and they have everyone's ear, I'm wondering if some guys, not all, because I think the original premise came from a sincere place, but I do think some of them are seeing a future beyond football. I'm looking at Michael Bennett. Guy already made millions. He's in the bank. And they could be the next, great social justice warrior well beyond their playing days. And that's quite profitable. And I think that is a shame in itself. And I think it's going to hurt future generations of players if the attendance go down.
I don't know, Chris, if someone's that diabolical in their approach. I mean, are you talking about Kaepernick specifically or just someone who knelt?
Well, here's the thing with Kaepernick. It's morphed into it. I believe he was the most sincere out of them all, but look at what he's doing. I mean, he's not playing in the NFL.
Yeah, listen, I think Kaepernick actually believed what he was doing. I really do. I think Kaepernick...
But now the thing's out of control.
Right. I think Kaepernick actually had... I think he had good intentions. I really believe that. I think he did. And I think
and they can make some money on this. And what if 40 years down the road, if depending on how the country is and the world views at the time, these guys, in the back of their mind, they might be thinking, you know what, I might be a trendsetter. I might be the one that really sparked something. I'm a leader in social justice, and I'm going to go down in the history books. So now the thing's gotten out of control.
I think the only one who that has happened for is Kaepernick, though. I think Kaepernick has become a figure in America. I don't think there's any question. I think that has happened. I think a lot of people feel Kaepernick's a hero. I don't think there's any question. There's a lot of people who can't stand him, too, but I do think there's a lot of people who think he's a hero. So, and I think I really believe that Kaepernick, I think he was sincere. I really believe that. Now, he made some mistakes with the socks and stuff like that. He didn't do everything right either. But I do think he was sincere in what he was doing. But again, I just get back to where the NFL should have nipped it in the bud in the beginning and said, this is not how this is going to be handled in our league. And you know what? The players would have agreed. Now, they got the NFL on the run, and they know they do. And they like when they get the NFL on the run. John in New Jersey, what's up, John?
Hey, Mike, how you doing? Thanks for taking my call.
What's happening?
I just wanted to side with you that on a point that I don't think a lot of people are getting. They do have the right to protest, but like everybody else or everything else in the NFL, they're on the greatest platform in the world. Like, everybody agrees with that. That's why they're doing it, because it's the greatest platform in the world. But what does everybody else that wants to get their message across at the greatest platform in the world have to do? They have to pay for it.
Yes.
If you want to protest, go ahead and protest. It's going to cost you, like everything else. Dunkin' Donuts pays to have their signs in the stadiums. Everybody pays to have their signs in the stadiums. You want to protest? It's going to cost you a game check, payment. The NFL is all about money. They want money. There you go.
I totally agree with the idea that there is a cost involved, and to me, you don't get to do that and go out and get paid. You are hampering our business. If you had an employee at a department store and they decided they are gonna protest behind the counter, and they're driving the customers away, what are you going to tolerate that? Of course, you're not going to tolerate that. They're driving the customers away. Ira in Staten Island, what's up, Ira?
Hey, Mike, what's happening? How are you?
What's happening?
I want to touch on a football issue after we get done with this with this national anthem thing. You know what? I'm totally agree with everything you're saying, pretty much. It's a business, and the NFL from the beginning, they didn't nip it in the bud. It just got way out of control. And I have to laugh because, was it Peyton Manning wanted to wear the black high tops for Johnny Unitas?
Right.
And he gets fined.
He gets fined. So ridiculous.
Ridiculous. There was a corner for years on the Jets. When the pregame warm-ups, they had a dress code. He would always have his socks rolled down, and every game day he would get hit with a fine from the league.
This stupid little stuff. And that's where the league has no sense of humor and is just ridiculous. Absolutely. He wanted to honor Johnny Unitas. One of the great players of all time, a player who built the league, and a player who couldn't even use his right hand to sign autographs late in his career because he was indigent and got screwed in the lawsuits also when it came to paying the players. And there's a report that they haven't even paid the players yet on those lawsuits. So the NFL, listen, they do a lot of things wrong. They do a lot of things that is nasty. I mean, what they did to that doctor Benjamin Amalu was unbelievable. I mean, and they lied to the players about the concussion stuff. I mean, they did terrible stuff in that regard. So their heart's not always in the right place, but they showed a lack of commitment and courage here, and it has come back to bite them. And the players know they have the owners on the run here. They have them completely on the run here, and they like when they do. And you had the Player Association come out today and basically say, you know what, we'll do what we want. I mean, when do you hear the Player Association, the NFL say that?
Yeah, you can't, employees can't do that. But, also I just want to touch base with Gruden getting Hackenberg. Listen, who knows if he'll ever play
for a
it down
conditional $7, though. I mean, geez, he didn't pay anything for him.
No, but you know what? You look at what they got there between Connor Cook and E.J. Manuel. If anybody's going to get, and he's a good kid. Hackenberg's a really good kid, 23 years old, and I'm not praising. Listen, like I said, I have many, many doubts about this kid. But I think if anybody's going to get anything out of this kid, even as a backup role, I think he's in a good spot with Gruden. I really do.
Gruden is unbelievably hard on his quarterbacks, as you know. Very intense, very hard on his quarterbacks. But he's going to give them attention. That's one thing he's going to do. He's going to coach them hard, really hard, very demanding, very tough on his quarterbacks, but he's going to coach them, and he's going to coach them extremely hard. John in East Islip, what's up, John?
Mike, welcome back.
Thank you.
It's an honor to speak to the sports group.
What's up?
Regarding this issue with the national anthem,
yes.
I just heard before that New York football owner said that he would pay
he did.
for his players' fines.
Yes, he did.
Now, isn't that kind of really screwing everything up?
It makes no sense. It's basically saying now you can kneel.
That's what I'm saying.
So tell me how he did not undermine the commissioner. The commissioner just told you, and it's a good point, John. You made it exactly right. I had made it before. The commissioner told you how important it was that you adhere to the national anthem, and that you honor the national anthem and honor the flag, and then you have the owner of the Jets come out and say, hey, I'll pay any fine of anybody who kneels. Well, wait a second. If you're going to pay the fine of anybody who kneels, then how is this working? And why then would you stay in the locker room if your owner is going to pay for you if you kneel? Then you have another team, the Niners. We didn't vote. Why? We need more information. We need more information. What more information do you need? So the Niners pull a Switzerland. We're not voting. We agree with everybody. We're not voting. Ben in Jersey, what's up, Ben?
Hey, Mike, welcome back.
Thank you. What's up?
I wanted to just switch gears a little bit on this Eli thing with the memorabilia scandal.
Yes.
I didn't hear you talk too much about it. I heard you one day
Well, first of all, I don't know that much about what happened in the Eli case, to be honest with you.
Well, you were gone during that time. But if I could interview Eli, what I would ask him is that either you are a complete imbecile for thinking what you did was okay, or you were in on a scam. And I don't know how he would answer, but I think what's totally unfair is if Odell Beckham did the same thing, this would have been a much bigger scandal. But for some reason, Eli gets a pass, and I don't understand why.
Well, first of all, the people who brought the lawsuit settled the say, so it never got to court. So it never got out in front of us. So we don't know all the facts because it was never, they settled the case, and the case was settled specifically with the statement that there was no finding of wrongdoing on any side, okay? But what we do know, listen, this is what I believe and what I have seen and I think is wrong here. It isn't about Eli Manning. It isn't about any particular player. The practice that they are involved in is a bad practice, and that is the use and the sale of game-used stuff. Leads, it's all done behind the scenes. It is a bad practice because it is very easy to create a bigger inventory than you really should have. Okay, you can always do it, and who's there to say that it's not game on? So when you get into this, I don't like. I don't mind people going and standing online for somebody's autograph. I don't mind buying a jersey and having somebody sign it. You know what? That's all done right. My thing I tell people, and I'm not a memorabilia guy, never have been, but I tell people, go and get the autograph yourself. First of all, it'll mean more to you. Secondly, you'll see the guy actually sign it. Then you don't have to worry about all this speculation. Did he ask for 2 extra game-used jerseys? How many game-used jerseys did he actually produce that day? Blah, 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 blah. And that's why the leagues, all the leagues, and the teams and the players are all involved in this game-used stuff, and it is too easy to create inventory. And that's why I don't like the whole process. I am against the whole idea of this game-used stuff. And we all know the verifications are nonsense. You don't know if there's real or not. You know, they use these verifiers. They had this guy on TV. I don't know if you saw it. They put 10 autographs in front of him. The guy's business is to authenticate. He got 8 out of 8 wrong. I mean, so the bottom line is it's just a business that they can easily produce extra quantities, and that's where the danger lies. So I don't know, did he call up, the story I heard, the only story I ever heard was the idea that somebody accused Eli of calling up and saying to the equipment guy, get me 2 jerseys that we can say are game used, or something along that line, okay? Now, did that really happen? I wasn't there. I don't know. That was what I saw reported. It was something along that line, and they settled the case. But my point is, this is just a bad practice that everybody's involved in. I think it just leads itself to too much mystery and too much, is it real, is it not, is it verifiable, all this stuff. So I'm not a big fan, if you've heard me, I'm not a big fan of that stuff, of that game use stuff. First of all, they charge you too much money for it. Secondly, there's no way of knowing if it is the real thing or not. Mark in New Jersey, what's up, Mark?
Hey, Mike, how you doing?
Good. What's happening?
I'm so glad to have you back. You give me something to listen to on my ride home.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
I just want to talk about the Warriors and
yes.
Steph Shimmy or whatever.
Yeah, I don't like that stuff.
No, I hate it, and I hate how everyone calls out LeBron and says he's whiny and he doesn't take credit when he loses, and then when he wins, he takes all the credit. It's like, dude, the Warriors have an amazing team, and LeBron went in there before they had Kevin Durant, and they won the series, So, like, I hope LeBron makes the finals and they stick it to him.
The Warriors are a wonderfully talented group. We all know that. They can shoot there's nights they can shoot the eyes out, but they don't respect anything. I mean, they don't respect their opponents. They don't respect the game. They acted like jerks last night. That's why I was so happy to see them lose. I said, shimmy off the court now after you score 12 points and take rotten shots down the stretch. 12 points at home in the fourth quarter. Nice performance. Those shimmy now off the court. As the guy shimmy. I mean, I couldn't stand that when he's shimmying around on the court after making a shot. Alex in New Canaan, what's up, Alex?
Mike, how you doing?
Good. What's happened?
I got to tell you, when I got an alert on my phone about what the Jets came out and said.
Yes.
I couldn't call quick enough, and I canceled my season tickets. I got no interest in supporting anything like that. I'm with you 100%. There's so many different ways to protest, and most of these guys are just jumping on a bandwagon. They don't even have the sincerity that Kaepernick first had to begin with. It's a joke. It's an
and we're talking about Johnson basically making the statement that I will cover anybody who is fined or anything the team has to deal with or anything else. I will cover it. So if anybody kneels, don't worry, it's taken care of. I will not put that kind of pressure on you. You can kneel. I want you to express yourself. So here's the league comes out and says today, we don't want people kneeling. We want you to show the flag and the anthem the respect it deserves. But we're allowing you to stay in the locker room without it being any problem during the anthem. So if you can't handle standing at attention and showing respect for the national anthem, which is hard to fathom, but if that's the case, you can wait in the locker room. That solves nothing. And then what happens? You have the first owner come out and say, oh, yeah, but if there's any fines, I'll cover them. Don't worry. If anybody's going to kneel, I'm fine. I'll cover it. What did you just solve? We're back in the same place again. Kevin in Rahway, what's up, Kevin?
Hey, what's going on, Mike? How are you?
Good, what's happening?
Hey, Mike, I want to talk about the whole the NFL new ruling on the with the flag and things.
Sure,
like
go
that.
ahead. Go ahead.
My thing is, first and foremost, how is this taken away from the game? In other words, everything is done prior to the game being played itself. All the emphasis is on the kneeling and the whole nine, but the game is still being played.
When you go to the stadium as a fan and stand up before the game and the players line up on the sideline for the national anthem, that is not part of the game. That is not a ritual that's part of the game.
Well, let's say this, Mike. The PA announcer before the game says, will you all please stand? That way I have an option to stand or not. Correct?
Well, you are not.
Well, yes or no?
Listen, in the stands, you can.
Well, if I come to the stands,
absolutely. But you are not working. You are not an employee. You are not on the field.
At the same time, Mike, how is it taking away from the game?
It's wait a second. But the people in the stands are if your customers who are in the stands are offended by that symbolism, that's not good for business.
Okay, so now if I'm a player right? Because the
player,
media,
yes.
If I'm a player, the media made light of all of this. Okay, so
what do you mean the media? What do you mean the media made light of it?
I'm saying the media blew this up to where it was because they focused on Kaepernick kneeling. So if I'm a player, right, and before, let's say I have to go to the bathroom. I'm just using it. If I have to go to the bathroom during the national anthem, I'm in the locker room. Are you guys looking for me and saying, "Oh,
listen,
well, he didn't"?
That's silly. That's
not silly.
It is completely silly. No, it's not. No, it's not.
You're taking three people. You're taking a few people.
No, it's not. I mean, that's just silly. You're one guy. What? That's a silly. It's a silly analogy.
Mike, the game is still being played, Mike.
Doesn't
matter. You're there to watch the game. You're not there to watch who stands for the national anthem.
Wait a second.
But you're not there.
Are you there? Are you there in your uniform? Are you representing your team or not?
Yes.
Are you in your uniform?
What are you talking about as a player?
Yeah. Are you in your uniform?
Yes, I'm in the uniform.
Okay. Are you representing your team?
Yes.
Are you working?
Yes.
Okay. Then do your job.
My job is to play football.
Your job is not to kneel.
Not to worry about an anthem.
Your job is not to disrespect. Wait a second. If I have a rule that you will respect the anthem in my uniform, then you do it or don't get my uniform.
You're saying now the rule.
There was a rule. There was a rule.
At some point in time, Mike, the guys didn't even come out.
There was.
Mike,
wait.
correct me if I'm wrong.
Well, you are wrong. There was a rule.
At what point was the rule put in, Mike?
The rule has always been in the manual that you must stand at attention.
The players did not come out. Originally, the players before did not come out of the locker room until after the national anthem.
That is not true, man. Because, wait, how many games you been to in your life where the players were on the sideline for the national anthem? Many times. Okay? Many, many times. And at big games and other games on the national anthem on the field 1,000,000 times. So that's not true. You're talking, if we wouldn't even have this issue, if they played the national anthem and the team didn't come out till after the national anthem, it wouldn't be an issue. Which is what I thought the league was going to do. I thought the league was going to move the national anthem up. That's what I thought their big thing was going to be. I thought they were going to move the national anthem up before the teams came out of the locker room. Then they didn't have to deal with it anymore. They could have done it and got away with it. I thought that's what they were going to do. They didn't do that. Back after this.